common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. You the man.
Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing. Had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
I am glad to be back. I had a week-long vacation with the father down around Clearwater Beach. Shout out to the couple people I did meet up with. If you're in here, Connor McNuggets, sorry that the timing did not work. I left early Sunday morning and you wanted to meet up Sunday afternoon. And shout out to Chris the Ish as well, who is from Tampa but was a little busy. But maybe next time, guys. That's about all I got. Good to see you guys in here, even on the slight red day. Man, this sideways motion and this slight dip is really starting to wear on people. You can see it on Twitter, people getting salty, trolling, or just not participating in crypto conversation anymore. I mean, maybe you don't need to watch cryptos every day like you did during the bull run, but if you have the time, gather as much information as possible. Position yourself for the next bull run and the next few cycles that cryptocurrencies will have. And if you're here this long, obviously you believe in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, so continue trading, continue hodling, and most importantly, continue accumulating. Obviously, it's been about a week or so, guys, so we're going to cover a few topics, nothing too major. And as you know, we are seeing a slight dip today, and I'll let you know why I think that is happening. What you got going on over there, Todd? Did you hold it down while I was out of town, or
I tried to a little bit, but I didn't do much. I was live a couple times. That was about it. Taking a break myself a little bit.
That's about all we got. And tag McFadden.
Today's the anniversary, and I'm not home, so hopefully the wife don't get on here and give me the finger.
What is it, 24 years
24
married?
Years.
Getting through, you've gone through Miss America, you've gone through the rap game, crypto game, traditional finance, you've done it all.
Crypto game.
We're here today. Tag McFadden said, thought it was EOS's Dapps that were hacked due to coding, not EOS itself. Well, we'll talk about that here in 1 second. And we'll see if Johnny M. Cool pops in here because I will be giving him a shout out as well. Lastly, guys, this will be a ZEN giveaway show. So in the comment section below, after this video is posted, of course, leave your Horizon ZEN wallet address. Make sure to like this video and be subscribed to the channel, and you're entered to win. We will draw that winner live tomorrow. Random drawing, you will win one full ZEN worth currently, I believe, $16. Let's do this. Let's get started. Looking at CoinMarketCap, I know you guys don't want to look at this and probably refreshed it about 100 times already, but Bitcoin dominance still sitting above 56%, market cap below 200 billion. I never like to see that. Bitcoin had a sharp sell-off from 6,500 down to 6,291. Ethereum getting hammered today, maybe due to some of the articles I'm about to read you guys, down another 10%. XRP down 2%, and everything else down a handful, about 5% on average for the day. Any winners? I mean, we got a couple. We got CyberMills, Funfair, who is a winner for today, but getting smashed in this bear market. Cash, which I know some of you guys are a fan of that, and the new liquidity network they created. And that's really about it. Nothing major. Horizon's up here, 0.071 loser. That's all we got to do. Not much to brag about, but you guys are here today, so let's have some fun. Let's ask some questions. We're going to throw it over to Todd briefly for the charts to show you some larger scale counts he may have on Bitcoin and others. But like we said, guys, we'll let you see what he thinks if we're around a bottom or if this is going to be a longer term down cycle for the next couple days.
I mean, not much has really changed since we talked before. I had the buy off the software at the 61.94 level, and I had the previous buy over there at 63.40. But I had said that the bearish count would have been really more looking for 5 waves down, kind of to match this break here. Then we had an ABC up and then 5 ways down. So if that's the case, we've done the 1-2 probably. I mean, it's not sure until this previous low gives away. If that's the case, then I think we kind of probably mouse down and do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that gets us below the 5,700. You know, scares us down to wherever, 56, 55, 5,400. I think it'd be something that would happen quick, get a lot of stops, etc. But I have, you know, I still don't know. It's still kind of been impressive. I mean, with the software, I had it looked like the 62.50 level. Somebody was supporting it there. So obviously they've got to support again where we're at right now. And then if that does give away, then yeah, I'm sure we're going to see that the break of 5,700 or so. So, and again, I think that's the most bearish count. So I don't think, because you got Litecoin, Ethereum, some of those look like, you know, they could go back, probably make a minor new low, but they got pretty washed out. Ethereum down there at 170, rallied back to what, 226 or something. And Litecoin as well. So I think that the next sell-off would be the end of it. This is Bitcoin USDT, the tether. This is where I got the buy signal at the 61.94. I didn't get a sell at the top. This looked like a triangle here. I did actually. You know, I'm trying to get more comfortable with the software because obviously cryptos is a little different than stocks. If you bring up the Bitcoin USD, not the USDT, go to the daily, let it load here. This stuff will load faster once the developers finish their next little upgrade where I can actually offer to subscribers. The technometer here did get above 50 yesterday, as you can see, 50.9. It's a little bit different how this works since it's open 24 hours a day. This really is the close from 7 o'clock last night. So we wouldn't be at 50.90 right now. But we was up there when we was at 65, 65.20. Again, 50's overbought. So, but the USDT was trading around 47. I've noticed, it looks like Bitcoin USDT has been a little more helpful on buy signals. So, you know, if you were quick draw and wanted a short-term trade, it'd been easy to got out at 64.80 or higher, especially with the technometer above 50. But if you go to USDT, you can see 47, and that's been really the high. It'd probably be more around 44 right now with today's sell-off. So, yeah, I'm just trying to watch that stuff closely, trade a little bit, see how it acts, etc. And then back to the 5-minute. I really didn't have a divergence up there, so I didn't get that, or I would add an easier short-term sell. So I'm just trying to get places to buy, add on dollar cost average, etc. So we're a little slow here. My computer's a little slow. So that's the 5-minute rally off of the 61.20 level or so. You can see now it really looks more like an ABC, and then maybe a 1-2 to the downside. So this might be the start of a pretty good downside move if this low of the 61.60 or whatever it was a little bit ago cannot hold today. But up here, the volume didn't really give me much, so not much to add there. So that's all I got for now. Let's come back later and go over a few more coins.
Cool. A couple things that did happen while I was on vacation. Ethereum Classic and Utrust actually created a partnership. They want to partner with ETC Dev Team, one of the 3 or 4 dev teams that is working with Ethereum Classic, to team up with Ethereum Classic for payments. Utrust has partnered up with Ethereum Classic, Digibyte, and PundyX now. So that is an interesting group of cryptocurrencies that they are putting together. Ethereum Classic and Digibyte, you know, that I think are fundamentally sound and have a bright future. And PundyX being one that a lot of the community members really love and look forward to having as well, because they do have a working product in their point of sale system. They showed some video of there's some concert going on and over in Taiwan, and if you had your PundiX card, they simply just put it right on there. Boom, your transaction happened within about 3 seconds, and people were buying beer with it. So that is very interesting. We'll see where this UTrust partnership goes, but I had to keep you up to date on that. And then for those of you who hold Electrocoin and have been staking that, this is a community-based peer-to-peer coin. We've done reviews on it, interviews on it. We've held it during the bear market and had a chance to quadruple our money, and some of us have held it on the way down. I sent out some trade swings there, but they are finally doing phase 1 of their fork that we have been waiting for so long. The recent drop from around 15 Satoshis down to I think it's 10 or 11 Satoshis is due to the fork being pushed off. Now, according to them, it is scheduled to happen at block 112,200. The proof of stake rewards are going to be reduced from 50% down to 30%. Now, you might be saying, Nick, that's terrible. Why would that be good? Well, it does help for their inflation that is on their network, and provides a longer span for people to be able to use proof of stake on their network, since they are getting close to their total supply. At the same time, they are maxing out the stake days to 30 days and only reducing the time for coins to mature from 24 hours down to 12. Also, with this fork, individuals who hold less coins will now have a better opportunity at earning stakes. Before, since there was no max days set on Electra's blockchain, the whales who have been around the longest and who hold the most coins were seeing stakes more often and larger stakes. Now, this will be more favorable for whales all the way down to the minnows, where if you hold a small amount, you can still get maxed out at your 30 days and earn some stakes on that network. So if you hold ECA still and you've been staking it, congratulations. We're finally going to have this fork. They're getting on a couple more exchanges. They have 2 more phases of the fork all coming up. So it seems like it's all starting to come together for Electrocoin. And this is one micro cap coin, so highly risky coin that I still think is holding right in there. And if you bought this when we did the interview, or you are break even, while everything else is still bleeding, you're break even, plus you're probably ahead of the game, because if you were staking, like I told you guys and showed you guys how to with the desktop wallet, you're coming out ahead. And then that is really all I had to mention as far as that. Let's get into some articles. Also, Tour de Crypto. I know you guys have been following me. Tour de Crypto did launch. They have made their way, I think, to Philadelphia now, so they're spreading crypto awareness. If you guys are not already a part of that, make sure to go over to tourdecrypto.com. See if your favorite coin is supporting it. Maybe send a donation, or just share their tweets and spread the word, because they're trying to do something here to benefit cryptocurrencies during the bear market. All completely free, all volunteer work. And we got some new coins on board. Horizon came on board, 4 came on board, Pack Coin, as well as others. Digibyte has been involved, Electra's been involved. So it's getting pretty exciting over there. Now, why do I think that we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off today, going from 6,500 down to 6,200? I think this is due to some FUD that is coming out here. Mt. Gox begins corporate user rehabilitation, raising concerns of BTC crash. Over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin out of circulation since 2014 could soon be reabsorbed into the market as disgraced cryptocurrency exchange Mt. Gox enters the second stage of rehabilitation proceeds to pay back its creditors. Essentially, they have about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash from the fork, of course, that they will be giving physically back to all the consumers that lost their cryptocurrencies. Now, some people fear that if these go back into circulation, people can sell them, putting a lot of downward pressure on Bitcoin in the market, causing yet another crash. Now, the problem with that assumption is, number one, none of us really know what each of these individual consumers will do with their cryptocurrencies. But I think the biggest thing is this is not happening until Valentine's Day. That is the end of February 2019. That's a long way away to be pricing in into the market right now, in my opinion, and it's very, very early because, well, who knows what the sentiment and the price of Bitcoin will be in February. It could be $2,000 or it could be $50,000, since by then we will have the backed exchange coming out in November. We have more and more custodians by the day. And then also, what else could be happening at the end of February, February 27th, roughly? That would be a Bitcoin ETF. If a Bitcoin ETF is announced February 25th to 27th, and these people get their cryptocurrency back on the 29th, do you think that they will be selling? Probably not. On top of that, and the one and only guy at my work, I think there's two people who have crypto, but the one who's been in it for a while, the IT guy I talk about a lot, he actually had about $300 worth of Bitcoin at the time that he lost on Mt. Gox. Now he has just been informed that he will be receiving that back in physical Bitcoins, now worth something like $3,000. He says he's holding. Now, that's only one person, but I think if you look at it from that perspective, this was a much smaller amount of money. When they lost it, they thought it was gone forever, and now they're actually going to be receiving it in physical coins. We'll see. I just think that people who are like, oh, it's for sure going to be a sell-off, for sure going to cause a crash, I think that's a lie, and you can't, see out, what is that, 6 months from now? Nobody knows what the sentiment's going to be. Nobody knows what's going on in the cryptocurrency market. So I think for now, I just would accumulate on these dips and not really look into this all that much. You got anything to add to that, Todd?
Lodex says it's because Tether was having issues confirming transactions. I don't know about that one.
Bud Time says Coca-Cola buying cannabis stocks now.
Yep.
I did hear Coca-Cola was talking about getting involved in the cannabis space. From my knowledge, it will not be THC-based, but CBD-based. So they might have CBD added to their drinks. CBD is supposed to be used by individuals to reduce anxiety, inflammation, etc., like a stress relief, kind of like a melatonin-ish, but obviously better or whatever. So that will be interesting. More and more individuals are getting involved in the crypto space, hemp space, CBD space. And the the pot stocks have been exploding. Have seen somewhat of a drawback, but if you guys were involved in those, congratulations.
If Tether takes over Bitcoin, any money in Tether is just firepower for the next rally. So I hope Tether keeps going up.
Tether's got to go into crypto eventually before it can get out to USD in most situations. So we'll see what happens. Leon says sugar is enough drug in their drink. There you go. I'm not a big soda drinker. Can't do it. And Dane says, I got my pajamas on, so let's get rich. Well, let's see if we can do that. We got a couple more things to talk about. Something that a lot of people that were talking about that is super bullish, but it's really not, guys. And then I'm just going to talk about it briefly. That is Bank of America joins a Bitcoin derivatives race with other FIs. Bank of America's wealth management division, Merrill Lynch, is in the latest Wall Street firm to join the crypto race by developing a Bitcoin trading product to compete with Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. People have been getting really hyped about this, talking about this. This will cause the next bull run, right? Derivatives do not hold the underlying. It's a debt-obligated security. There's nothing there, and they even go on to give details in here lower, saying that really Morgan Stanley earns through a spread, which is the difference between buy and sell for each Bitcoin derivatives operation. Quote, the U.S. bank will deal in contracts that give investors synthetic exposure to the performance of Bitcoin. They're not holding the underlying. This is about as bullish as the futures. It's not very bullish. You're going to get some institutional exposure, maybe a little better positive spin on Bitcoin moving forward because it's going to be traded by individuals. But this is not going to directly affect the price of Bitcoin, especially not in a positive way because it's not settled physically. And really, if anything, it might provide more hedge, just like the futures for institutional investors, which is probably going to put more downward pressure on Bitcoin. If anything, I do not think this is a major news article. Other people think it is a really big thing. Do you think derivatives for Bitcoin is a big thing, Todd?
It'll bring in some institutions. It'll bring more volume in. It'll make bid and ask spreads tighter. Dang, Elizabeth, I'm sitting here drinking my Coke, reading your comments. Coke is cancer in a can.
Dang it, Coke was about to sponsor us. I guess we got to change that now.
I'm sitting here with a full Coke.
Anyways, I just really don't think Bitcoin derivatives mean anything for the space. Like I said, I think it's going to get some institutional exposure, but the way they have it set up, it's like a contract to the futures market, so it's even another step removed from the physical deliverance of Bitcoin or people actually having ownership of Bitcoin. I think a Bitcoin ETF would be a lot bigger. Backed, which is coming in November, is a lot bigger. And any physical custodians such as Grayscale Investments, where they actually hold the underlying, that's what we need to see, and that is what is going to really cause a market movement in the bullish direction. You got any more charts you want to look at, or should I just keep on cruising?
You can keep it on, keep it on.
Jet says, who has Bank of America here? They got coin reward. I don't have Bank of America.
I got a checking account there. That's about it.
Leon says, Nick, do you have some experience or opinion on the Deerbit exchange? I do not. Never heard of it, never used it. Sorry about that. And then Crypto Hunter agrees with me, saying Backed will bring BTC up. Backed is going to be huge, guys. I've talked about it. I don't want to beat the dead horse. We'll see when November rolls around if it becomes regulatory compliant. And you can thank me later for all this time we came on here saying accumulate at these levels, because it's not going to be hurting you in the long run. That's all I got to say.
I have to check out that news on Tether. I don't think I saw that article that Lodak just put up.
Let's see what we got. I'll have to look at that when you go to the charts or something. So does LG coming into the space to, become a competitor with some of my favorites in XLM and some of your favorites in XRP? We'll see. I thought it was bad enough that XRP and XLM were fighting over market share for that payment solution sector. Now LG, a traditional company, says they think they got the solution and they think they got the better product. A South Korean branch of LG called LG Up Plus or U Plus, a mobile phone network provider, are the first segment of LG to take a big leap onto the blockchain through the alleged creation of a new cross-border payment solution, one that is set to rival other similar solutions provided by Ripple and Stellar, two companies I know you guys are familiar with, two cryptos in XRP and XLM that we have debated and talked about, and you probably own one or the other in your cryptocurrency portfolio. But after reading through all these quotes, the person who wrote this article said, are LG competing with Ripple and Stellar? Probably not. And indeed, LG may well have had their eyes set on Ripple and Stellar in order to get an idea of how a cross-border payment system could work on the blockchain. But for now, it does seem that they may struggle to compete with Ripple and Stellar from the onset. LG do, however, have an internationally known and trusted brand, so this could well become a product that sees a huge volume of transactions made. Even so, though, it is doubtful that LG will have developed a technology on par with Ripple or Stellar just yet. Though the future is bright for LG, and actually in a few years' time, the LG U Plus could well develop a product that could well knock Ripple and Stellar out of the park. They don't really provide any technical specifics here. There's already competitors of XRP and XLM in the marketplace trying to use blockchain for transactions, but I personally believe that both Ripple and Stellar have first movers advantage and have the large partnerships they need to stay relevant in this space. Now, if you believe in Ripple's technology and XRP, that is awesome. Also, if you believe in Stellar, you do know that XLM is used on most of their transactions, if not all, for their blockchain. It's really whatever you believe in, guys, but as of now, LG, I don't know if you would even want to. Is LG a publicly traded stock? I don't even know at this time.
Samsung?
Yeah, it'd be something to keep an eye on.
And
but
LG, I don't
at the same time, I think they're just saying this. They don't have much to go on just yet. And really, I still believe that Stellar and XRP will have their time and have the first mover advantage in this industry. The only reason I talked about this is because a couple people shared it with me saying, oh, do I need to sell my XRP? Do I need to sell my XLM? Because LG is coming into play. And I think that would be a definite overreaction at these prices. And I think it's something we can keep an eye on. But in reality, guys, it is two totally different networks. And there's definitely room in this sector for multiple networks moving forward. So if you want to hold XRP or XLM, definitely don't sell it because of this LG news.
Johnny Cool says his spell check put in crap for XRP. That's not good.
Johnny.
Sell everything.
You look at a few charts because I got to look for this.
I brought it up. It was just talking about some unconfirmed transactions, and they had thought they had a fix.
Interesting.
But that could have brought a little bit of selling in. I've got the updated UUP chart.
The thing is, though, if there's an error, say there's the Tether thing, unconfirmed transactions. So people who are in Tether are going to panic. Why would that force the crypto market to go down? If anything, people would be selling out of their USD Tether and buying Bitcoin or some of these other cryptocurrencies. So the fact that that would cause a panic for a red for the entire market and Tether's still green a little for the day, I would still lean towards the Mt. Gox story coming out being the FUD that drove that move. Only because if people were scared of Tether, they would move it to True USD or put it back into the crypto market. They wouldn't be like, Tether's going to implode, so let me sell my Bitcoin. That doesn't really make sense.
You're probably right. They would sell their Tether and get the hell out of it quickly. There's a UUP, the long dollar ETF that we've been bearish. We had another sell up here 4 days ago. Today's selling could break this thing down below these previous lows, and we had the technometer down above 50 again. So it looks like the dollar could turn down here in earnest. Here's interesting Litecoin USDT. You can see that the rally from 47 to 59, no volume really came in, and now we're at new lows again for the move. So, you know, there's different ways to look at that. Down here we was near oversold, and we're going to get oversold again quickly, but you know, got to really watch the technometer to get more insight from that. But definitely continued selling in Litecoin, even though price has held up pretty well. If we go to the daily, most of the technometers on a lot of these other coins was trading really around neutral after coming off of oversold. So let's look at that real quick on Litecoin. I know Elliott Wave International was talking about Bitcoin volumes down about 30% since the high at 7,400. That everyone's just tired. And I think that's the same thing here. We're getting less viewers, etc. Everyone's getting shook out by the time we make a major low. Sorry, guys. My computer is a little slow as well tonight. Yeah, you can see here, this is the technometer was down here at close to oversold here. It was at 44 at yesterday's close, up at 58 or so. So it will be back down after today's sell-off. And volume, here in volume in Litecoins, you know, it's not fallen off in the last 2 weeks because Bitcoin has quite a bit. And you can see once again the OP, which is volume calculated every 5 minutes and then posted daily on this chart. You can see still making new lows for the move. So it'll be interesting if this is a test on Litecoin here, and then we can turn back up again. So too early to call that.
And Hunter Hall said, so will the rest of 2018 be bearish? We've been talking a lot about the good days ahead in 2019, but nothing here in 18. Look, nobody knows the future. I will say that historically the fourth quarter of the past 5 years, besides the 2014 bear market, have historically been the best performing quarters of the year. On top of that, we hopefully will have regulatory compliance from Backed Exchange coming out in November, which I'm going to tell you once again is going to be massive. If you do not know about Backed, look it up. BAKKT, brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange and ICE. Do a little research, and you will see why we've discussed this thoroughly in the past. And then on top of that, guys, if it is bearish the rest of this year, I just don't see too much lower lows than this. I really think worst case scenario is somewhere around $5,000. That's worst case in my opinion. I do not see it fall below that. I know Tone Vase has talked about 2,500, and so have others. Oh, we're going to zero, whatever it may be. I think there is too much interest from not only retail buyers, but also the institutional infrastructure that is being built that it will fall below $5,000. That's why I say dollar cost average, and I really believe we are in accumulation range. This whole time, you could have just been accumulating around $6,000, $7,000. And if it falls to $5,000, does that suck? Yeah, that does suck. But the probability that it is going to go higher and break all-time highs, and, you know, who knows, maybe the Bitcoin maximalist is saying this will be the global currency. But even if you're not a maximalist, you have to understand the money that can be poured into this from this institutional infrastructure moving forward, and the price will follow. I guarantee, I will bet 100%. I'll give all my cryptos away if Bitcoin doesn't make an all-time high. At least, I mean, I'm not saying this year, but I'm just saying we're going to set all-time highs. Cryptos are here to stay. You got to just look at the macro fundamentals that are occurring. The macro fundamentals continue to get better and better. The network hash rate on Bitcoin continues to increase. Network utilization drives price appreciation. So if your hash rate has gone up 60% while we've seen an 80% drop in price, what do you think is going to happen? Eventually, this is going to start to catch up with the growth and the utilization of that network. It's just going to happen, guys. Is there manipulation in the markets right now? Probably. It's the institutions probably dabbling a little bit, trying to stack up their bags before they know what is about to be released with custodians, ETFs, backed, etc., etc. So for me, I'm trying to accumulate. Every 2 weeks I get paid for my real job. I have a certain percentage that I dollar cost average into the cryptos I like. Then as well, if we make anything from YouTube, a couple $100 here and there, that's where I take some flyers or I mine some coins on some microcap coins waiting for the next bull run, because I really believe in the space, and I see the fundamentals that are continuing to get better and better while the price continues to decline. And I think that is a buying opportunity.
Johnny says, get your mortgage guy ready.
Oh yeah, what'd I say? $4,000, Johnny? If Bitcoin goes to $4,000, I would take a mortgage-backed loan out on my house, show you guys the paperwork, and go all in on Bitcoin if it goes to $4,000.
I think worst case is probably the 5,500 on a quick dip coming here like really soon. I think we end the year really strong. And I think when we come back through 68, 6,900 and then 7,400, I think it'll go through those things so quick when we're ready to go that if you're not in, you're going to get left behind.
And Higher Leverage says, once we hear crypto's dead, that's when I'm ready. Shout out to you. Johnny M. Cool saying he is loving EOS under $5. Well, let's read a couple articles about EOS. Now, a lot of people have been saying EOS hacked. That's the headlines you've been seeing. So I was like, oh, man, I need to look into this. Well, not necessarily, guys, but instead one of the dApps built on top of EOS, a gambling platform, fell prey to a $260,000 hack. Essentially, the codes, the smart contracts within EOS Bet were hacked. Somebody was able to go in. Anytime he won, he could collect the funds. Anytime he lost, he was able to rig it so the smart contract actually did not take his EOS from him. Pretty ingenious. Now, the fact that a lot of people were spreading the FUD that EOS itself got hacked made me interested, so I looked deeper. But instead, it was just EOS Bet. Not that big of a deal. I'm not on there. And the thing is, EOS Bet lost the money, not other users. I guess maybe other users would have lost because they were winning less because this person was winning so much. I'm not sure how their algorithm works over there. You know the house always wins. They might say it's fair, but apparently it's not. The reason people took this so personally is because EOS Bet said they take their security very seriously. Their code was audited by themselves and apparently independent third parties. Well, obviously not good enough if somebody was able to win the jackpot every single time. But that's all, guys. I just want to touch base. I don't really got much information on that or have any skin in the game pertaining to this gambling site, but I just wanted to state the fact that it wasn't EOS itself or the EOS blockchain getting hacked, but instead a dApp that has been built upon EOS. This would just be like an ERC20 token being hacked, or maybe Bancor, which we're about to talk about being hacked on Ethereum. It wasn't Ethereum itself, but instead a separate project and a separate development team altogether. Now, talking about EOS, and Johnny M. Cool is in here. Shout out to Johnny M. Cool. He wrote up a full article about the Tour de Crypto and trying to get the EOS project and community to become a community sponsor of this event. If you want to read it, go over to tribe.one and look for Tour de Crypto as the title. Tribe is actually I think this is a project by EOS, if I'm correct, right, Johnny M. Cool? Essentially, if you believe in EOS, you're a big EOS holder, and you want EOS to get some exposure and become a sponsor of Tour de Crypto, get on their RV, be on the table for Tour de Crypto at the World Crypto Conference in Vegas, etc., etc. Feel free to read this. Donate to Hawk Charity 1 EOS wallet. And if they raise $1,000 worth of EOS, that's it. Maybe a whale's watching this, an EOS whale is watching this, $1,000 worth of EOS, it all gets 100% donated to Hawk Charity, and then EOS does become a community sponsor. Hawk will download the EOS wallet, which we already have for them, Hawk Charity 1. They have the private keys and everything over there. And EOS will be part of the party and joining to spread crypto awareness via charity. Currently, like I said, it's Electra, Redcoin, Digibyte, Horizon, Packcoin that have showed their support for as well as Litecoin. So there you go. If you'd like to donate with any of those other coins, go take a look.
Maverick Gold says audio delay, but I don't hear anyone else saying that. Clifford says we're good, so we normally don't have audio delay here. Let me have it back for a second. I'm going to throw up Ethereum here, same type of thing that Litecoin was showing. You can see everything just updated because 7 o'clock rolled around, so we're moving over here, starting a new bar. And then the technometer came from 47 here on Ethereum down to 43. 38's a buy, and 50's a sell. I mean, those aren't numbers you just blatantly buy or sell, but those are look, watch, listen, pay attention. But you can see here on the OP, which is the intraday volume, you can see we just went to a new low for the whole move. So
show me the money.
Looks like somebody's accumulating some coins on weakness. So, and that's what, you know, the whales or composite man, whatever you want to call it, is trying to do. if we get the shakeout below 5,700 or so, that's just trying to get the last weak holders to sell their coins. So, and everyone, get short in the hole, etc. A lot of people want to be short cryptos and talking about being short Bitcoin. So we might need to go down and wipe those guys up. But I still think there's buying going on underneath everything. So, which I think still bodes well for the future. I will say Dash is 181. Dash is holding up here short term pretty well, considering some of the talk on them recently. That chart's trying to hold up.
Some people are saying there's an audio delay. Not much we can do while we're live, guys, so we'll just go to this view where you can't see our mouth as much, I guess. Jet was asking if you can mine on your laptop. You can mine on your laptop if you have a nice laptop especially, but I do not recommend it. Usually, like I said, unless you have a gaming laptop, the GPU is not strong enough to make enough coins to offset electricity costs. Also, the cooling for laptops is not as good. When you're mining 24/7, your GPU is going and CPU will run hot. Laptops just don't have as good of cooling mechanisms as desktops do, or mining rigs, so I do not recommend it. If you want to get involved in mining, I don't like cloud mining personally. I would say go set up a mining rig, a cheap 1-card, 2-card mining rig, play around with that, or if you have a gaming desktop tower, you can mine with that. Shout out to Chris Canine, the 199 super chat. Loved the trophy shark you caught, Nick. Thanks, guys. Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, we were fishing in the canals down in Florida, and the red tide was going on the beaches, so a lot of the fish were dying and washing up, so we went over into like the canal side. It's behind, it's more like almost like a river, and we were fishing in there. We were catching a ton of bonnet shark, which are cousins of the great hammerhead, so pretty nice. They're strong fighters. It was really fun to get back there and do that, and that's primarily all me and my dad did. We did some fishing because we could just walk across the street and do it. We did some putt-putt golfing, and then we did some drinking, and that's really about it. Followed up, kept track of some cryptos, tweeted with you guys, but really just relaxed and didn't do much work at all. Thank you for the super chat, Chris. And if you have any questions or anything, that's what the super chat is. If we keep missing you guys, the way that we make sure to answer your question, or I'll review your coin or whatever, feel free to send a super chat. We're not begging for them, but that way we don't miss it, as the chat box does scroll pretty fast at times.
That's about all I got. I've had a long day, as usual.
That is about it. We do got a couple more things. Ethereum has continued to slide. Man, my screen is dark now that the sun has gone down, but at least you can see the background.
Right.
Downtown St. Louis up here in the lofts.
Got a bus up on
Ethereum. Ethereum has had some downward pressure from ICOs selling. Some of the FUD that's coming out. Vitalik really making some dumb comments out in public. And now are they starting to lose some Dapps? Not totally, but Bancor is expanding to EOS for fast and free transactions, saying that its EOS expansion will probably be more effective for its users than the Ethereum Bancor. Now, this isn't huge because Bancor, we do know, was hacked, and I'm not going to be using Bancor ever again, so you guys can do what you want, but no, you get your one chance, you get hacked, I'm over it. But I think that this is something we're going to continue to see. I've been saying for a while now that I think Ethereum will start to lose some market share as far as the protocol platform sector to other competitors. We're seeing it with Tezos and Neo and EOS and Ubiq and Dragon Chain and so many of these other options to go to. And I think that might still trend that way. Ethereum's having a lot of scaling issues. There's other competitors that are saying they are solving those scaling issues before they even go completely live, such as Cardano. They said they've been doing a lot of peer-reviewed studies on these scaling issues, and they think they're close to solving that issue. So we'll see what happens, but I think this is a trend that we need to keep an eye out for. If ERC20 tokens continue to switch to their own blockchain or move to other protocol platforms, switching from an ERC to maybe a NIST 5 token on Neo, or switching over to EOS or whatever it may be, that might be a little bit of a warning sign for you guys, because that means there will be even less network utilization on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's really what's keeping it afloat, is the fact that there is so many ERC20 tokens that are built on it currently. So let's keep an eye on it for that. I don't think Bancor is the end of the world, because they said they are still staying on Ethereum, just expanding to EOS. And like I said, Bancor has been hacked, so it's not very much of a legitimate thing. But I think this is a trend that we need to keep an eye on. And I expect to see more apps, more dApps move to other blockchains because they might be more affordable. They're not going to have as many scaling issues as far as the network getting clogged up, etc. So we'll see what happens. I still own a little Ethereum. It's a lot smaller portion of my portfolio. I used to mine Ethereum. I no longer mine Ethereum. I actually mine Ethereum Classic currently, and I do have spread out my Ethereum across other protocol platforms, so I've remained in that sector, some of those being Neo, like I said, Ubiq, Ethereum Classic, Dragon Chain. Tezos is one that has my interest, and I do own some Knolls as well.
Crypto Dent, with my software finally done, I'm going to try to look in more on the OTC Bitcoin markets to see if any way we can try to monitor those or et cetera. So I can't say much more than that. I don't know where I can get any good information on it, but definitely a lot going on over there, I'm sure. I just don't know how it's just like having the book on the New York Stock Exchange where, trades are occurring off exchange. It's just, I don't think we're able to quantify what's going on over there. But something we need to try to look into. So if you got any help for us, throw it my way and I'll look into it even more. I did hear that a lot of people that were buying size OTC have canceling their bids and knowing that we're going to go lower. So you can say that is extremely bearish if they're pulling their bids. But, there's two sides to everything. I guess if you're bullish, you kind of say, well, that means there's a lot of firepower waiting. And if they don't get a heavy break here, then they're going to have to chase it higher later. So we shall see. But I've heard that some bids are being canceled because they know we're going lower. But nobody knows anything, so it's all a game of percents.
Yeah, and that's really the hardest thing for me, too. I know the upside objective. I work for an institutional financial firm, so I see that the institutional infrastructure is being built. It's hard for me to let go any percentage of my portfolio hoping for a quick swing trade, maybe a break to 5,500 or 6,000 or something like that. That's tough for me to do, tough for me to swallow that because I like to sleep at night, and I know that if I went home right now and sold 25% of my holdings hoping for a break lower, I'm not going to sleep for a few days, at least until that happens. So
shit, and it might happen while you're asleep.
Yeah, you guys got to decide what kind of investors or traders you are. Are you day trading, swing trading, or hodling? And at this point in time, I'm going to continue to buy. That's it. And some people say, well, I don't have any more cash, Nick. Well, do you make a 2-week paycheck? Maybe instead of going out to the movies, which cost you $30, say, hey, babe, not doing it. Sorry. We're doing $30 into Litecoin. I don't know. That's up to you. You got to decide your own budgets, finance, etc. Do not take loans out for cryptos. Highly risky. I know I said I'll do it if it hit 4,000, and I would because I think that would be the deal of a lifetime.
But you're an animal.
But it's not recommended. I mean, if you guys are super stressed about, you have too much money in cryptos. I also have a 401k account. I also have some real estate exposure because I own a house and some precious metals. So I'm not all in cryptos. Crypto's a large portion of my investable assets. It is now because I mined it and I've been in it so long, but I didn't put that much cash up, if that makes sense. I started out with I think 5% of my investable assets, and it's just grown by trading, mining, airdrops, etc. It's organically grown over time.
And I think, when I hear that banks or OTC buyers are canceling their bids, I just think that's telling you how bad the sentiment is when they're pulling because they know we're going to go lower. Because first of all, they don't know that. And I think that just tells you the sentiment is so bad that we're coming into a low. So whether we've made it or whether we're going to make it, I just think that people that want to own Bitcoin are there. They haven't bought because everyone's talking about these downtrends and lower highs, etc. But at some point, everyone's going to chase it.
And then a couple other things that we didn't discuss. The ETC summit in South Korea did happen. It was pretty successful. They had an array of people over there speaking, from Charles Hoskinson, the co-founder of Ethereum and founder of ADA. They had Rob Viglione, the founder of Horizon, over there. So if you guys want to watch those videos, they made it 100% public. Definitely pretty interesting because they didn't just talk about Ethereum Classic. Like I said, they had UTrust up there talking about how they're integrating with other cryptocurrencies and how they want to become interoperable across this ecosystem, whether it's Horizon, Cardano, UTrust, etc. So that'll be pretty exciting to see how that all works out. Also, I know you guys have probably already seen it and watched it, but there was the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash debate on that Bitcoin conference cruise bullshit with Roger Ver, Jimmy Sung, and Tone Vays. That was utterly pathetic and embarrassing for the ecosystem. That is not going to instill any investor confidence or bring new investors to the space. If people want to learn about cryptocurrency, send them towards Antonopolis or something like the Internet of Money, which is that orange book right there, something like that, because that debate was pathetic. It's a bunch of people trying to be dick swingers, Roger Ver interrupting people, Jimmy Sung throwing a hissy fit, and Tone Vays proving that he should stick to technical analysis. If you want some entertainment, I would watch it, but do not show other people who are looking into cryptos that video, because they will not ever buy Bitcoin again.
They said Tone Vays needs to stick to technical analysis.
Yeah, that was the worst debate. There was no moderator, no structure, people talking over each other, Jimmy Song rage quitting. That was terrible, terrible look for cryptocurrencies, especially at these price points. If I wasn't in cryptos and I was my boss, the guy who owns an institutional, advisory firm, I would see that and say, hell no, we're not buying Bitcoin. That's how bad it was. Hell no. Turn those hedge funds around. I don't want anything to do with that hedge fund. That was terrible. That might have just set everything back. That was bad. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm surprised, because everybody's been talking about it and watched it. Look it up if you want to on YouTube. Get a few laughs, but probably be irritated that those are supposed to be the people that are representing this ecosystem in the future. They didn't talk about the tech. They didn't talk about anything. They talked about who's got the bigger dong and who's gonna brag more or lie more about whatever they believe in. That was bad.
What's up, Craig? Bud Time, you will get credit for tonight for being the most bearish here. 2,000 Bitcoin.
Whoa.
That happens, I'll kiss your ass right here.
That's crazy.
2,000.
$2,000 Bitcoin. Woo.
That would be back to where my first buy was at 1,900. So.
Ruby said, but Roger stopped interrupting. I shouldn't have done it. I don't like Roger Ver. Here's the thing. I respect those guys for each individual aspect thing they have. Tone Vays has made profits for many people in technical analysis in the past. Some of the earlier calls, especially, so he can do his thing in TA. Jimmy Song, from a technical perspective, he is a part of the BTC Foundation. He's done a lot of code. He's helped a lot of people collect forks, etc. He's very smart when it comes to Bitcoin development and developers in the section. And then Roger Ver, in the early days, has done a lot for kind of spreading the vision of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, providing freedom for everybody globally, etc., and was a big proponent of the early days of Bitcoin. But lately, every time I hear him talk, I dislike him and his project a little more. I think he's conniving, and I think he's lost touch with his kind of humble beginnings, maybe with the wealth that he has earned here in cryptocurrencies. Respect them for what they do, but all three of them together for the debate was terrible, and it really got off track and just didn't personify cryptos in a positive light at all.
I hear you, Bud Time. I haven't been around for 90% drops. So, I was aware they were occurring, but I wasn't here. I wasn't trading, etc. So I can't say from experience.
Minecoins.net said shirts required in crypto. Yeah, Tone Vays did the debate shirtless.
Tone Vays? Oh my!
She's been working out now, so we had to go shirtless.
Oh my! So that's what we got to start doing.
Yeah,
I've been working out a bit. I guess I better start hitting the free weights. I guess.
Look.
All right, that's what we're gonna go. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna hit the free weights tonight.
Bud Time says, hope I'm wrong, but we shall see. Man, if it goes to 2K, I'll be sitting on a 50% loss after I just mortgaged my house. That's no good. Rat Rod says Jimmy Song and Tone Vays and Roger Ver are all a bunch of. Well, I'm not going to read all that. You guys can read that. That goes a little excessive for me.
Bud Time bought at 380. That's cool. I actually partied with the guy Thursday night that bought at 96 cents, I think he said. So, yeah, he was bragging about his houses and his boats.
That's funny. Any other questions or anything we need to talk about before we head out of here? We covered a lot of articles. It's awesome to be back here with you guys. Took a week off. I think Taj says if Bitcoin goes below 4,000, will I take a vacation again? Well, it depends. I usually take 2 vacations a year, so it doesn't really matter what the Bitcoin price is. Man. Yeah, I did have. Well, this last one, my dad, he already had a plan, so I just bought a plane ticket. That's all. Crypto Dent, my first buy was at 210.
Wow.
So whether you've been here for a while or you're new to the game or maybe you even bought at the top, it's all about perspective, guys. You got to keep these prices can go much higher. Just like back in the day, Bitcoin went to $600 and then immediately fell to $300 and then rebounded quickly. You know, you always see the tweets about people who were selling at $12 because they just tripled their money. I mean, we're still in a long game. I think that retail investors have been the majority of the price action so far in cryptocurrencies. And once it continues to get more and more legitimized, look at the fundamentals and the infrastructure being built. We've got much higher objectives. And right now, I'm just buying and accumulating. I'm not stressing out about $200 swings. That's just not what I'm doing right now. But you guys do what you want.
CGC, we got that one on the charts. Yeah, I don't. I've not been in the Canadian cannabis stocks. Get asked about it quite a bit. Got a few in my charting service, but that's it.
Sweet. Make sure to tune in again, Bud Time. Some people would probably be upset that you're on their channel saying these things, but hey, it's nice to get perspective. We like to get the bulls, the bears, and everything in between. We all gather knowledge from each other, and we all try to learn each and every day. I need to get back on my grind. I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, so make sure to go to the interview section on the homepage and check that out. But I have not been doing reviews as of late with the bear market. So I need to start doing that again. That's my goal, to get back into doing reviews, maybe set up videos, etc. Need to do some of those rather than just these live streams, because I think those are more helpful. Because like we said, during the sideways action, there's not a lot of TA that Todd can do right here, and there's not as many news articles for me to really look at that are relevant. But I think reviews and fundamentals on individual coins or maybe guides pertaining to mining or exchanges or whatever it may be will be helpful for more individuals. So I need to start doing that once again. And then Blind Dave Crypto says, late will re-listen, but hi. Shout out to you. And for everybody who came in late, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button and leave your ZEN Horizon wallet address in the comment section below for a chance to win. We will draw that winner tomorrow during the live show. Giving out $15, $16 just for being an active community member.
We're not giving away ZEN tonight?
No ZEN tonight, because that's the ZEN giveaway. Leave a comment and you're entered.
Oh, okay.
That's all I got.
I mean, so you bought some pizza with our ZEN.
Yep.
Down in Florida.
While I was in Florida, my
Spent the ZEN.
My putt was all spending ZEN
Right.
cash or Horizon.
Down there, got your ZEN debit card.
That's awesome. Make
Later,
sure to enter,
free man.
guys, because I got to give away, I think, 8 more ZEN by the end of the month. So I'm trying to give it away to you guys. Take a look at the
Give it away
project.
now.
Put your wallet address down there. Let's have some fun during these bear times and just accumulate. I mean, you guys want to stress every day. That's cool, but I'm just buying. Who cares? Just buy a Bitcoin. And then somebody asked, what is a good project to buy in this dip? Are the chances of market dipping more pretty high currently? Todd seems to think that if we break down a little lower, we're probably heading towards 5,500.
I think that'd be max myself.
What do you think the probability on that is currently?
60 that we do and 40 that we don't.
So higher probability that we go lower. I'm liking some of these coins that we've talked about. You know, Digibyte, Horizon, ADA, Neo, XMR. You need to have these in your portfolio, guys. Litecoin, even at this price point, man, $50 Litecoin. Take a look at them. Buy them up.
Easy to see when the bottom bounces, people start attacking each other. Well, we get that on a daily basis. Then it quiets down. Well, it's pretty quiet now. A little less followers here, and then a flash crash, and they all run back. Yeah, I mean, that'd be perfect. I mean, I hate to say it, a break right here, I think would clean it all up. So, and I can't sell hoping for that. I mean, I've had a few stops in here and there, but really, I just think we're still under accumulation. So, I think you're playing for the last few crumbs here, and you know, we could. I mean, 5,500 is $700 away. That could happen tonight while we're all sleeping, and then come right back up. And I just think the rally out of here will be swift. So, yeah, Elizabeth, it was much better when we were all smiles and love and actually making money. Yeah, I do remember that. It seems a distant past, but yeah,
it'll be there again.
It's coming back. I mean, I think we go to new highs. I think probably 25 or 30,000 on Bitcoin. I think the alts have big percent rallies back, and then you better clean house a little bit, make sure what you've got in your portfolio.
And I think all these smiles and the fun and the laughter and the FOMO and the the volume will all come back once Bitcoin can break that $10,000 barrier. You know, people at my work that were starting to get interested in it, we had meetings all the time of these traditional guys that were interested. Man, we haven't heard from them since. And now's the time they should be getting in. But I guarantee once Bitcoin gets back in the news, the backed our ETF, and we break 10,000, then that's when they're, now I need to learn how to get on Coinbase and buy some crypto.
They'll be back.
That's legit now, so in time, guys.
I think so.
That's about all we got. Until next time, make sure to stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here on Learn Crypto. We will be live with you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully we got some more news articles or we have some more TA for you. Definitely wanted to make sure to get on here today and talk about some crypto with you guys, even though we did have the swift sell-off earlier today. No big deal. We're here for you guys each and every day.
Quick poll. Where are we going to be year-end Bitcoin? Somebody just asked.
Year-end, what do you guys think?
Jack just asked. I'm going to go for... I'm going to go like 12.5.
Year-end, 12.5 Bitcoin.
If not a hair higher. I'll do 12.5.
You know what? I got some cojones, and I'll tell you what.
What?
For some reason, I think that there's going to be some really positive news coming out in the next couple months. Backed exchange coming out in November, and the historical trend of massive bull runs in the fourth quarter. I say we get close to the all-time highs by the end of the year, followed by a Bitcoin ETF coming out in February of 2019 to break us to around $30,000 by mid-next year. That's what I see.
Hilton Stone says 30 at the end of the year.
Whoa!
I mean, I said 12.5 or higher. I don't want to get, I don't. If I say you're going to get trolled tomorrow.
I'm going to get trolled. I don't care.
So I'm just trying to not get trolled.
We're in the bear market. There's only going to be like 800 people that see this, so you guys can troll me. Hey, I'm trying to be optimistic. Try not to change my outlook. I really thought by the end of this year that we would be seeing somewhere around 1.3 trillion market cap. So a new all-time high. I don't know if we'll get there, but I think we'll get close to our previous all-time high, around $800 billion market cap.
If I say that, someone's going to start another account on Twitter. The guy's got 2 going now. He's going to start another couple.
And Johnny M. Cool, he can't stick to the rules. He says EOS is going to be $112.76. So what does that mean for Bitcoin, though, Johnny?
Right,
that's the question.
That. We all know EOS is going that high.
And then Bud Time says by the end of the year, $3,888. I guess my house will be mortgaged, and I will have whatever.
Girlfriend will
I'll
have
left. 1,000 Bitcoin then.
Girlfriend's gone.
Yeah. All gone. No more booty rubbing from me. All right, guys. Peace out. We're getting off track. Let's have some fun. Continue to accumulate. Continue to gather some knowledge. And like I said, go to our YouTube homepage. Check out our other videos. And I need to get back doing some reviews because everybody really seemed to gather some insight from those.
K. Archie, you just got here. We're done.
We're done, K. Archie. Dates. Come to St. Louis, though. We'll all go out. If you guys are ever in St. Louis, feel free to reach out to us. We'll go out for a drink. We'll talk cryptocurrencies. We'll have some fun.
Shit.
Hey,
don't be lying to these people.
We got a microphone. We got a microphone.
Your girlfriend's got you tied up at home. Don't be lying to these people.
You got a microphone right here. Maybe we'll even have you on for the show if you guys want to one time. We'll ask you your favorite cryptos and why. If you're in St. Louis, feel free. We got the mic set up.
We got an empty seat ready for anybody that wants to come in and go live.
That's it. Peace out, guys.
Bud time. I knew he had to say something. See you tomorrow, Bud time.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out.
Have fun.
No? What happened?
Don't know.
Hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck, everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.